This is reposted.
I flew in from New Orleans yesterday and I went to go get a ride home and Uber wasn't there. And I was like, you know what? I haven't tried a taxi in about 6 years. And they didn't disappoint. And it got me thinking about this. Reputations are hard to build and easy to lose. We used to always trust taxis, and I was like, okay, Uber is going to be late. I'll try a taxi. And the taxi driver intentionally went the wrong way. I told him to go to a certain direction. He added a couple miles to it, demanded I pay cash, and he maintained the reputation of what I thought about taxi drivers. And I was like, and then I started thinking about this, and like with personal relationships, this is like true, but it kind of also depends on what you want out of the relationship. Like sometimes people are more willing to give second chances or let reputations build back in. But are you easy to forgive, or do you hold vendettas?
As the great Goose McKenzie said to Michael in a theatrical release known as Grease 2, "Hey, I got a rep to protect here." Do like I don't know if I care about people's reputation. I don't know if I care about my reputation. I just care that I do good and people do good. I don't really necessarily care about all of the other things that I could care less if a taxi has a bad reputation, but if they get where I want to go in the right way, then I'm good with them.
I don't know if that's true for you. Like if you were supposed to do something with someone and you just didn't show up, I think you would care what they thought because you would lose a friendship. Or do you not care if people like you or not?
But my thought is after you sent me this quote, I started thinking about my reputation and I started thinking, do I ever care about my reputation or do I just try to be a good human being and do what I do? And then whatever happens, happens. I think there are people like in your business, in the Hollywood, and then even business leaders, they have to worry about their reputation because their brand is involved. But I don't know if the average typical person should worry about their reputation as much as just worry about being a good person and doing what you need to do and get your stuff done.
I guess it kind of depends on what you think of, I guess, how you define
Yeah.
reputation. Because I mean, I guess I don't know where your heart is exactly at the end of the day when you go to bed, but like saying, I want to do the right thing, is that a selfish act because you want to feel good because other people like you? I mean, I get what you're saying, but I think the reputation, at least the way I view the word, I think does matter to you, but like not in a Hollywood sort of way of like, oh, there's Larry. I see he came into the room and someone's like, he does this, this, and this. Like what your interpersonal relationships are, I think that reputation, I think matters.
I really feel like I try to be a good human being. Like I really wake up in the morning and be like, I want to be a good member of society, someone that loves people, tries to help my neighbor out. But here's the thing, I'm infallible and I make mistakes. I try not to worry about what I'm doing good or bad. I just try to do it. And then sometimes I make mistakes. And the thing that I got out of this is like, how do we judge a person or a thing's reputation? Is it one instance? Is it over the long run? Like, how do you judge someone? Does someone judge me because I made one mistake? Is my reputation sullied? I don't know if one thing can do that. But in this age we live in with social media, it certainly seems like it can.
I guess I would divide it into three different categories. You have work, home, and play, right? So, like reputation and how you view people and how willing you are to forgive people at home is probably a lot different. Like, if I treated you like I treated my parents when I was a teenager, you probably wouldn't talk to me. But like, it's your kids, and so you're more willing to accept their flaws, and I'm more willing to accept a flaw of a friend than I am a contractor that stands me up or I know is trying to fleece me. So I don't think there's a straight answer to this, but it's just interesting to me to think of like w- an action with one person is going to have greatly different meaning than it is with another.
As you said that, I thought, like, I don't have a reputation with my wife. I just am. Like, she knows me. Like, there is no, like, there's the reputation of who you are, and then there's who you are. I live with her in 900 square feet. I don't have a reputation. She simply knows me by who I've been and what I do. I don't have a reputation. I don't really have that with my kids either. You build reputation with people you kind of know you ish, right? And that, if someone knows you deeply, the reputation goes away and you just are that person.
Yeah, I guess I don't have kids, and like you probably don't think of your kids in a certain way, but if any three of them went to school, or if you went to one of their teachers, you'd be like, oh, this one has a reputation for being X, Y, or Z, positive or negative. So it's just, I guess, reputation is how the world views you, and how you're willing to accept that.
I think sometimes like people use reputation like with shortcuts, like social media. Like we want to present something different than we are, and we feel like if we present it a certain way, we might get there quicker. But over
Mhm.
the long run, if you just once again do what you do, I think your body of work speaks. And reputation. Like for instance, like Megan McCain this week, right? Came out. She got a bad rep because she said something about on the View. 6 months ago, you could say it was the China flu. Now,
Mhm.
6 months later, you cannot say that. So, what's her reputation? So, I don't know. Stuff kind of comes and goes, but I feel like that's for the media. I'm just a normal dude trying to do my best, and sometimes I fail. But over the long body of my work, I hope it's okay.
Yeah, and I guess it's not only with being in entertainment, like especially with social media, it's easy to lose. You do one thing and it
Hmm.
can completely change your life. Whether you agree with it or not, a guy that I went to high school with, I think we've talked about it before. He went to the insurrection on the, or whatever it was, on the Capitol. He did a Facebook live. He did a live video, got fired from his job, and got piled with lots of hate and got off social media. I'm not friends with him. I don't know what his political beliefs are either way, but like he was a lawyer and he did one thing. It's easy to lose. And I think if I was raising kids, or just advice to people in general, is like you could say one thing. You could write 2 or 3 words on social media, and the way the world views you could change very quickly now, whereas before it wouldn't.
No, I totally agree with that. But I also would also say, like, if you hear something on social media, you need to dig into it. I recently just dug into this whole Dr. Seuss thing. I was like, what the hell? Canceled Dr. Seuss? Dr. Seuss, the publisher of Dr. Seuss, said, we're going to stop. We are going to stop selling 6 books because we want our reputation to be good. We want to sell more books. We want to make more money. And then everybody, oh, cancel culture, Dr. Seuss. It was the company that's in charge of Dr. Seuss is Fortune did it. If you just dig a little bit, you see what the problem is. And that's like with your buddy, the insurrection. Maybe he's like got a great heart and he got sucked into it and didn't do anything bad. He was there because who knows? But I feel like we always have to dig in to what that thing is.
Yeah, stop looking at the headlines and actually
Yeah.
figure out what it. I mean,
Yeah.
I fell to that. I was like, "Oh, Dr. Seuss got canceled." I was like, "No, it was a conscious choice. No one made them do that, but it
Yeah.
turned into whatever." Well, if you want to learn to lose a guy in 10 days, please reach out. You can find us at Reposted Podcast on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. I'm Andrew Keller for Swiping Right Larry, saying thanks for stopping by.